This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, a celebration for sister cities, a special milestone for Dunedin's relationship with Japan. Dunedin parties after the World Cup victory. We have the good and the bad side of the city's celebrations. And South Dunedin comes to life. Hundreds turn out for the annual Street Festival. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Callum Proctor. A Japanese delegation's in the city to celebrate a milestone in an important relationship. It's the 35th anniversary of Otaru and Dunedin becoming sister cities, and the delegation's visit is likely to lead to greater opportunities.
Tokens of a long-lasting friendship. Delegates from the Japanese city of Otaru are exchanging gifts as part of their sister city visit to Dunedin. The relationship has been fostered for more than 3 decades and has special significance for both parties.
We're developing and have developed connections between the universities, between the museums, and as was mentioned, there are exchanges of school kids who go across backwards and forwards.
The small delegation is spending 2 days in the city. Local council staff are holding several events to celebrate the occasion. That includes a photo exhibition illustrating the likeness between the two cities, which goes beyond the physical realm.
The cities are quite similar in the challenges they face, economic challenges, demographic challenges, ageing populations, etc. And so we'll be looking at whether there are things we can learn from each other.
He says the anniversary visit is also an opportunity to grow the local economy through business and education. Otaru leaders are seeing the same benefits and are wanting to establish more one-on-one relationships.
Currently, our youth exchange programs are the strongest exchange programs. We'd like to continue that, but also we would like to expand based on these strong programs to other cultural and economic and more people-to-people relationships in general.
Delegates will spend their time discussing the future of the sister city relationship and how to deepen them ties over the next 35 years. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Police are disappointed in the behaviour of young residents within the student quarter after Rugby World Cup celebrations got out of hand. Signs of multiple couch fires can still be seen around student flats. Police say a large number of fires were deliberately lit in the residential area around the university campus. Most of the trouble began as the All Blacks beat Australia in Sunday morning's Rugby World Cup final. The first fires were reported in Castle and Leith streets, and by late morning up to 10 fires had been extinguished. Many of the fires were within an empty Castle Street section where hundreds of students had gathered to watch the rugby. No one has been arrested in relation to the disorder. And locals, meanwhile, are recovering from an early Sunday start after packing Octagon bars to watch the big final. The All Blacks took New Zealand to victory with a 34-17 win against Australia, and now residents here are rallying to see the trophy.
Waiting in anticipation. These All Blacks fans had to hear the final whistle blow before they could celebrate ultimate victory in the Rugby World Cup. Local punters were on the edge of their seats throughout the game as Australia closed the gap to a 4-point margin in the final quarter. That caused a few headaches but made the home win even sweeter.
It had to end that way. The rugby gods were aligned.
He was crying.
It was just our time.
Couldn't breathe for half the game, stoked. Absolutely stoked.
It was better than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be cagey and tight, and it was amazing.
There wasn't a single yellow jersey in sight as local bars were dominated by residents in time for the 5 a.m. kickoff. Bars in the Octagon were at full capacity long before the game had even begun, and the early start was no deterrent to drinking. The win had celebrations running long into the morning, with punters sticking around for the closing ceremony.
Great stuff, great stuff. Stoked.
Awesome.
It was really great. If you see all the Kiwis, all the locals celebrating this win,
As foreigners, it's really nice to watch.
Police are praising bar owners and staff for the well-run event, as no one was arrested in relation to the game or the celebrations. The All Blacks' triumph has won over local fans, and now residents are rallying to have a parade brought to Dunedin to honour the team and showcase the Webb Ellis Cup. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Well, some Dunedin hospital services that were closed because of an asbestos contamination have been restored. The ultrasound unit was among the first things to be cordoned off as a result of positive asbestos testing a couple of weeks ago. Now ultrasound services are running again as new access has been created to the main suites. A central stairwell that's also been closed for cleaning is expected to be open within a week. Cleaning's about to start on the mortuary, which remains closed. Other mortuaries in the city are helping with demand in the meantime. Hospital laboratories are also being cleaned. Well, the annual South Dunedin Street Festival has again proved popular with residents. Hundreds of people gathered at the weekend to celebrate the suburb's eclectic community, and the event has injected some positivity into an area that's had a rough year.
Celebrating one of the city's most diverse areas. Colourful stalls and live music brought King Edward Street alive once again for the 4th annual South Dunedin Street Festival. Organisers say this year's event seemed a little quieter as blustery winds kept some people away, but they're happy the event successfully shone the suburb in a positive light.
People often see South Dunedin in negative terms. The floods proved the negativity's skin deep and people are really there for each other.
Eager punters were treated to dozens of food options among the 60 stalls lining the street. But it was the jam-packed performance stage that was a real crowd pleaser, getting people dancing while giving young musicians some exposure.
Some of them are pretty young, just starting out, and it's a chance for them to get on a stage and perform in front of people, and with all the lift and confidence that brings. Others are well-established performers wanting to give a little back to the communities that they come from.
The festival isn't designed to be a money spinner, with organisers relying on donations and grants to run the event. Any profits will go into organising next year's festival, ensuring community members have something to look forward to. It's hoped the event has provided some much needed relief for residents who have had a hard time recently.
It's been a tough winter for many of the people in this community, and if they've had a good day today, that's all we really want them to take home, a bit of fun.
The festival's now firmly entrenched in the South Dunedin calendar. Orbell's confident it has a long future after again tasting success. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we find out the purpose of the new Dunedin Vegan Society that was launched at the weekend, and later thousands turn out for 2 world record attempts in Dunedin. All right, welcome back. The New Zealand dollar is expected to drop this week, weighed down by several offshore events. It's likely to be affected by dovish sentiment from the Reserve Bank of Australia, as well as a decline in dairy auction prices. Currency analysts believe the Kiwi will trade between 65 and 69 US cents. It recently traded at just over 67 US cents. And the release of job data in the United States is also expected to have an impact on the New Zealand dollar. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financial summary. And first of all, to the markets. And not a good week for the NZX 50, finishing down at the start, at the end of trading today. To the currencies, the New Zealand dollar up against all of the major currencies that we monitor, including the US dollar, currently at 67.79. Well, a new group has been formed in the city to support and promote veganism. The official launch of the Dunedin Otepoti Vegan Society was held at the weekend, and coordinator Carl Scott joins us to explain what it's all about. Good evening to you, Carl.
Evening, Callum.
So tell us, what is veganism, first of all?
Veganism, it's lifestyle choices that people make. It's about respect and compassion for animals, an attempt to reduce the harm we cause to animals as much as we can, practically and realistically, while still living a reasonably normal life.
So is it becoming more popular in this part of the world?
It is. It's worldwide. It's becoming very popular. And there's good reason for that. It's people are becoming more aware of the problems inherent in animal agriculture, animal welfare, environmental concerns, health problems, and at the same time becoming more aware of the solution and making the change across.
So Carl, this is more about just watching what you eat.
Yes, it's all aspects of our lifestyle. When you say vegan, people think of the diet, and of course most of the animals we use as humans are the animals you use for food, but it also involves clothing and other aspects of our life as well.
So tell us about the society that was launched at the weekend and how many members you have already.
Yep, there's 170 on our email list, and there's a Dunedin Vegans and Vegetarians Facebook group. There's about a bit over 800 people follow that. There's been a Dunedin Vegans group in the city for a while, but we wanted to formalise it more and up the amount of work we're doing, so we formed the official Dunedin Otipoti Vegan Society. We had our official launch on World Vegan Day, which was yesterday, the 1st of November.
All right, so tell us about that day and
Yep.
what's done to acknowledge the day.
Yeah, cool. Well, World Vegan Day is a celebration of being vegan. It's we're happy and proud to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Happening worldwide, a lot of events up and down New Zealand. So our contribution was we had a picnic potluck in the Octagon. People bought food. Hell Pizza and Whitaker's Chocolate gave us lots of free food and had live music and a raffle and things. People had fun, hung out. We had about 100 people come through. It was a good day.
Do you have associations with animal rights groups?
The easiest way to explain that is if you put 100 vegans in a room, maybe 5 or 6 of them would be activists.
Sure.
Most people are like, be the change, like Gandhi said, just in our personal lives reduce the harm. A few of those people will take it a bit further and be advocates and activists. So there is links, but most vegans are not activists, they're just being the change.
So what's the society? I mean, what's its purpose? What will you be doing in ongoing from here?
Well, there's 2 key roles. Raising awareness is one of the key ones, raising awareness of the problems with animal use and the way humans are using them, and raising awareness of the solution, which is veganism. And as people become aware and transition across, we support them. That's our second role, supporting people. It may be as simple as providing fellowship, potluck dinners, social events, but also providing information and advice. We've got a website, an email list, Facebook page. People can find us and get help if they want it. Some people do it all by themselves and they're happy, but if they want help and support, that's what we're there for.
Do vegans find it difficult getting the proper and enough nutrients that are required?
This is we get asked this all the time. Oh, where do you get your protein? It's not what people think it is. It's really easy to meet all your health needs on a vegan diet. There's 1 or 2 little basic things you need to become aware of, but it's pretty simple really. It's just eating a wide variety of foods, and you can't go too far wrong. There's vegan junk food, which is really yummy but not so good for your health, but that's the same with omnivore food. If you know 1 or 2 basic things, no problem.
All right, Carl, thanks for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, after the break on 39 Dunedin News, local students add up their donations after a charity event for earthquake-stricken Nepal. And snow is forecast around the region tomorrow. We have details of another cold snap on the way. Well, thousands of local children have been involved in setting new world records for a couple of activities. It was part of an alternative Halloween party organised by one of the city's charitable trusts.
Focusing on light during a traditionally dark day, the Dunedin Light Party illuminated Forsyth Bar Stadium on Halloween, attracting over 5,000 people for an evening of activities. The event's been hosted by the Acts of Kindness Trust for the past 3 years, but it's been running for almost 15 years with a focus on providing family-friendly fun.
The Light Party is really it's an alternative to Halloween, so we don't think that Halloween's particularly good for the city of Dunedin, so we want to give the kids somewhere to come and celebrate together.
Several bouncy castles kept the thousands of children busy, as did 2 Guinness World Record attempts. A new record was unofficially set for the largest number of people popping bubble wrap. The attempt to break the record for the most people making a heart-shaped hand gesture was also successful. It was a fun way for Trust members to demonstrate what the organisation is all about.
Acts of Kindness is set up, really it's just about blessing the community. The strap line for Acts of Kindness is that together we can do great things. So we want to network in the community. We've got quite a number of events that we do, and just it's about getting people to work together for great outcomes.
The party costs about $20,000 to run each year, with all of that money coming from donations, grants and community support. Organisers say it's a big amount to raise, but it's worth it for something they love doing.
You can see it's a pretty successful night. So this is the second year that's been held here. The stadium have been very generous towards making this awesome event facility available to us. So next year, we'll do it again.
Almost 100 volunteers helped to ensure the party ran smoothly, working alongside Trust members. They're now about to start planning their annual Christmas celebration. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Local teenagers are raising money to expand children's education in earthquake-stricken Nepal. A group of Queen's High School pupils organised a charity event for the cause, which saw participants climbing to the height of Mount Everest. And although donations are being counted, the challenge isn't quite over.
Reaching their goal one step at a time. Members of the Queen's High School Interact Club have been leading a stair challenge to raise money for education in Nepal.
The aim of the challenge is to reach the equivalent height of Everest by climbing stairs at Otago House.
There's no shortage of stairs inside the central city building. Participants managed to conquer its height about 47 times, which is the equivalent of about 20,000 steps.
It was actually easier than I thought it would be, because once we've got everyone climbing and all the team members involved, it's cool.
There were opportunities for well-earned rests and refreshment breaks during the challenge. It was also supported by people from outside the Queen's community, including those from other local schools.
There were 12 girls in our Interact Club who helped organise this event, and then there's schools from around Dunedin, and even groups who couldn't have a team together donated money to the cause, which was lovely, like Bayfield and Logan Park.
The Queen's High School Interact Club is all about supporting various charities and events around the world. With this latest project, members are hoping to improve the lives of Nepalese children by sending the money raised offshore.
It's going to primary school education through the organisation Purple Cake Day, which funds classrooms and quality education for children in Nepal.
Climbers are celebrating their achievement of walking up the almost 9,000 metre height of Everest. Now challenge organisers are planning to do it all again, aiming to make it a yearly ascent. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Japanese leaders are in the city marking the 35th anniversary of Dunedin's sister city relationship with Otaru. Dedicated local rugby fans are recovering from an early Sunday start after packing Octagon bars for the World Cup final. And a yearly street festival's brought some cheer to South Dunedin, where residents have struggled through a tough winter. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. We welcome in Phil Somerville. Hi, Phil.
Yes, hi, Callum. We've got lots of outraged fans that there won't be an All Black parade in Dunedin. We've got another story about tomorrow, of course, is Melbourne Cup Day at Wingatui, so lots of details about that and about the manager and about a little bit about the history of the day and how it came to be. There's a restoration project has revealed the Art Deco history of a building. I've seen the pictures, I haven't seen the story yet, so I look forward to seeing that in the paper tomorrow. And the travel page tomorrow is actually a story about travel to the West Coast and visiting things that my wife and I were there a few weeks ago. That's what's on the travel page.
All right, nice. That's tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. All right, let's now take a look at tomorrow's weather. All right, so let's look at the weather, and we can tell you that for the city, we recorded 16 degrees at 3 o'clock today, and it was 19 at the Gardens, also 19 on the Taieri. The forecast for the main towns around the lower South Island tomorrow: Invercargill gets a high of just 9 with a cold southerly which will affect all the southern towns. Showers, southerlies ease for Gore and 8. Te Anau just a high of 8. Alexandra a high of 9. Queenstown, gusty southerlies and 9. Oamaru gets 11, Wanaka 9, and Twizel gets some snow with a high of 9 tomorrow. Dunedin tonight's low is 7, and tomorrow, sadly for the big race day, rain and cold southerlies, a high of just 10 and the low 5. Further ahead to Wednesday, cloudy with a few showers, the southerlies die away, and a high of 10 degrees for Wednesday. All right, that's 39 Dunedin News for this Monday. On behalf of all the crew here, good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.